That emotion when I saw it to now hasn't ebbed or changed. It's just like, oh my God, wow. I just couldn't stop screaming. I was just screaming. It was like, oh my God. I mean, it was just something else. The entire show has an international quality about it. Yeah. And it's raw and gritty and real. When you have a story to tell which requires not just 2 hours, it requires more time. This is perfect. When you have, this is not dependent on the box office collections. It doesn't depend on whether, if it works on the weekend of release, it's great and people will watch it. If it doesn't, it's gone into oblivion.
All right, so today I have with me a very, very, very special guest. Someone whose show Delhi Crime has just won at the International Emmy. I mean, that is huge. Joining me today is the very amazing Shefali Shah. Shefali ma'am, welcome. How are you?
Thank you, Shweta. I am wow.
You've always been
totally wow.
Yes, you've always been wow. So I can completely agree. But how has it been for you, ever since, the news came out, and what is the feeling like? I mean, I'm sure you're on cloud nine and whatnot, but kaisa lag raha hai aapko? What is the feeling like?
When I got to know I was pregnant, and there was that constant excitement and beans in my stomach along with the baby, and it was just like you have goosebumps and you're just excited and you want to scream and shout and share it with the world and share it with your closest friends. Yes. That's exactly how I'm feeling. And that emotion when I saw it to now hasn't ebbed or changed. It's just like, oh my God, wow.
What पहला रिएक्शन क्या था? मतलब जब ये अनाउंसमेंट हुआ, जब ये रिजल्ट आया, जब वो एनवेलप खुला और नाम अनाउंस हुआ दिल्ली क्राइम, what was the first reaction like?
Shweta, in fact, it is on my, that is the post that I put up, on my social media. I just couldn't stop screaming. I was just screaming. It was like, oh my God. I mean, it was just something else. And I was watching it live and it was just, I cannot begin to explain what it was.
Wow, okay, I'm just feeling so happy that that this happened, and we're all so proud that a show like Delhi Crime, which just highlights so many things at so many levels. But I want to know from you, what do you think, according to you, were the reasons why Delhi Crime possibly won? I mean, of course, there were the performances were brilliant. The storyline, of course, it had a very human touch to it, and people really connected with it because of course, the incident. But what are the reasons that you think that perhaps made this possible for Delhi Crime?
One is the content of it, because it wasn't just. It wasn't entertainment.
Yeah.
It was making a very, very pertinent and important point. We were talking about something really important, and we were talking about a real life case. And it was dealt with so sensitively and handled really delicately, as well as the fact that the entire show has an international quality about it.
Yeah.
And it's raw and gritty and real. And I think that is what kind of is the work that's happening around the world. So, I mean, I can't probably pinpoint what is it that, and what is it that actually got DC to make the cut. But I just feel it's just everything, all of it put together that shows really special.
So do you think now that Delhi Crime has sort of registered this big, huge win, do you think that is going to sort of help to get more recognition to, the content that we have been putting out all this while?
Well, it definitely is. We have been, not just on OTT, there have been films, there have been there has been stuff that internationally people are interested in what's coming out of India, and why not? For example, Monsoon Wedding. So, but this kind of like really reinforces the position, and it just like kind of puts you out there and says, wow, watch us.
Shefali ma'am, lastly, I want to know from you, how much of a credit would you give to the OTT platforms, right now? Because जैसा अभी हमने इसके बारे में बात की, the OTT platforms have really helped, at least in putting out these kind of, in putting out the kind of content that has been coming out in the past few months specifically, क्योंकि of course theaters में नहीं जा पा रहे हैं, films नहीं बन पा रही हैं, पर ऐसा भी है कि कुछ content जो कि films में नहीं उतने अच्छे से बन पा रहा था, then it sort of transformed into making into a series. So how much of a credit would you give the OTT platforms also, as far as that's concerned?
A lot. It's really opened horizons for the entire form of art and expression, and artists and actors and writers and directors and filmmakers. What happens is, when you have a story to tell which requires not just 2 hours, it requires more time. This is perfect. When you have, this is not dependent on the box office collections. It doesn't depend on whether, if it works on the weekend of release, it's great and people will watch it. If it doesn't, it's gone into oblivion. It doesn't work on all of that. Also, the characters are so strong. It's content driven. So, and the most, like when DC released, it dropped in 191 countries in one go, which is huge. I mean, what is that kind of reach? So it's just, it has opened up a lot of horizons. I think it's great.
Yeah. I am just still getting goosebumps with the fact that, Delhi Crime has won this prestigious award, and I'm just so excited. But I think you have a lot of other things that you have to be back at, so I'm not going to take too much of your time. Thank you so much for connecting, and many congratulations again for this amazing win.
Thank you
for making us so proud. And hopefully we connect again very soon.
Thank you so much, Shweta. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye-bye.
Bye.